Good morning, everyone, and welcome to TimeBlazr Tuesday. This is my weekly forecast that is based on my personalized calendar called the TimeBlazr for you to take the right action at the right time every single time. So I'm going to really change something that I've really never asked of a community before, but I am going to step out on a limb and ask for your help right now. And it is actually not for me. I live in Northern California, and I don't know where you're tuning in from today, but we are being literally incinerated by the forest fires that are happening, that are sparked by just really record heat that is happening in the San Francisco Bay Area. And literally, we had a fire break out just right at the exit. I'm right off of the 101 corridor, if that means anything to you, but it's a main thoroughfare that goes from northern down to Southern California. But it was just right at our exit. And I'm not asking for prayers for me. We are fine, thankfully. But there are fires in Napa County, which is less than 20 miles away. And I just send prayers, please, and good energy that the winds just shift the way that they need to shift to let the firefighters to battle this horrible forest fire, and also for the people that have lost everything. I know personally people who have lost everything. I know personally people who are evacuated at early hours of the morning. So anyway, we just ask that you send good energy for anyone who is on the front lines or who have lost it all, and for them to be safe. Okay. All right, now let me change scene here, and let's get to TimeBlazr Tuesday, which is probably the reason that you tuned in today. But you know what? If we can't be human about what's happening and the reality what's happening, then maybe you're at the wrong channel, because I really want you to start thinking about how we can help each other in a really holistic way. And that means just maybe taking a moment and sending good energy right now. Okay? I love you for that. Okay, TimeBlazr Tuesday. Let's hop in and let's talk about, we're going to be talking about September 20th all the way through October the 6th. The reason I actually start with Wednesday instead of Tuesday is because I do have followers that are in other parts of the world, and I don't want you to miss one good date or time that you might have missed. So if you want to find out about today, the day that I'm recording live, then just go back to last week and just listen to the last part of the video on YouTube. Okay, so then what we would love for you to do is just take a moment. If you are new to my channel, please subscribe, please share, please leave a comment and like our posts. It's really important, as you probably already know, that the people that are on YouTube that are giving away free information like I'm doing here, I would really like your support so we can spread this message further and wider. Okay? All right. Thanks for that. Really appreciate that. All right. And then what we're going to be talking about today mostly is obviously the TimeBlazr, but my business model is person, space, time, and universe. And so really everything that I do is really personalized. It always starts with a person's astrology chart. I do more business than I do personal, but let's face it, we are working hard for what reason? So that we can have a personal life. But my entry point really is business. And for those of you who during this crazy time, which is why I started TimeBlazr Tuesday, is to help people get back on their feet, really get that empowered feeling that they may have lost due to COVID, fires, hurricanes, flooding, civil unrest. It's been a handful this year, and we really have had our share of kind of enough already, right? But we still have to kind of get through. Let's learn the lessons of what we can do better, be better as humans, being better as communities, and stewards of the world. So I talked about a lot of this at my annual event. And in January, I talked about how we would be dealing with some super viruses, wearing masks this year, which is not normal in the Western world. So there are things that we really have to start paying attention to. And one of the things I think you can pay attention to is finding a way to really show up the best way that you can. All right, I'm going to hop on over to the TimeBlazr. This is the month view of the TimeBlazr, and we're going to be talking about, like I said, whoops, I think I put the 29th. It's actually the 30th is what we're going to be talking about moving forward. Today's the 29th of the time of recording. And then we're going to go into, on the TimeBlazr, and I just wanted to have you take a note. Look at the color green on the month of September, and then let's take a look at the month of October. And as you can see, it's pretty green. There's a lot of good potential there. But let's stay with September for right now, and because we're going to start with this day right here. But the first thing I would like for you to understand is, one, this is a personalized calendar to every single person. Now, there is a baseline that we build on for each individual to get the most benefit from the TimeBlazr. And so if the days are green, this is something that's general for everyone. If it's white, it's general for everyone. The type of day is general for everyone. But there are going to be some personalizations, which really is the most impactful. And as far as I know, there's nothing like it on the market. So you've come to the right place if you want to make the best of all of the efforts that you do. Come on, guys. I tell you what, I'm really sad and sickened to know when people spend literally their heart and soul into creating a program, a product, a website, a book, and they just say, okay, it's done. I'm going to just send it to the publisher, or just go ahead, tell my webmaster to go ahead and click that button. When you could do it on a good day versus a disastrous day. When you do it on a good day, your efforts exponentially go to the next level. All right, so let's talk about some of the things that are, again, general. First of all, the green days are going to say that we have a certain benchmark that it will make it automatically green. And then if it goes below that, it will be white. Now, we're going to start talking about some of the personalization here. So first of all, I'm going to take away the icons just to show you a cleaner view, and just to let you know that you can personalize this calendar system, the TimeBlazr, in a way that suits you. Now, I want you to take note of the stars of the days. Some of them are going to be 5-star, which is the highest vibrancy that you can have. And some of them are going to have 0, which means there's no connection astrologically to that date and time. Now, timing, favorable timing has been around for centuries, and it has been used by imperial families to conquer vast territories and have a stronghold over them for centuries. And then it has also been used for military actions. It's been used for high corporations. It's used today. It really isn't a matter of if and when you're going to be using a qualified Feng Shui master. It's how much you can afford in the Asian world. But here in the Western world, I realize that this is a pioneering subject, but I know that, and this is where I get I've been studying this for 20 years, and I've studied in Asia with some of the top masters around the world, so that I could bring it to you in the Western world, so we can use these empowering tools as well. And truthfully, when you are a success, you feel empowered, right? And you want to do more and more and more. So let me help you build that momentum so you can get there. I'm going to show you in just a few minutes where you can get a 30-day free trial so that you can start using the TimeBlazr very, very quickly. Get up and running in a nanosecond. Okay. So the like I said, you can use these for using certain days and times based on the star system alone. But then we also have these 10 activities that I'd also like you to start thinking about. So let's say that you're starting with a new client, begin a new job, or starting with a new client or project, and let's say that there's money involved, and let's say that you are going to be signing a contract. Then you just go to the button that's right next to these icons that's called selected, and then I'm going to go ahead and select those. And then as you can see, those start being pulled up to what you have pre-selected. So let's go into now the days. I'm going to go through the first day a little bit more extensively, and then I will speed it up just to talk about something that I may have not spoken about. So for everyone, as you can see, Wednesday, September 30th, is for everyone. We're going to skip these next two bars right below it, and then it's going to say favorable balance yang fire rat. All right, so this is telling you what the type of day it is. Now, if it's a green day, it is going to either be excellent, which is the highest it could be, favorable, or fair. That's the minimum line that we would have to make it a green day. And then, but I want you to know is just because it's an excellent day, it may not be excellent to you. That's why we pull in the astrological piece to have this calendar match the vibration of what is your potential in your astrology chart. Before I go on to the next day, I think we should look at the chart so I can show you what our charts look like. All right, I am going to just hop up here in this tab here up at the top that's called My Business Astrology. There's so much on this particular chart. We can really actually look at person, space, and time, my business model right in this chart. But for today's purposes, we're going to be looking at your natal chart, the year, month, day, and hour. The year of birth is about your brand and your reputation. Your month of birth is about your character and what you're best suited to do in your business. And then your day of birth is about you, your personal growth, your mindset. Keep that mindset working and vibrating in the highest vibration, and you will perform better, get more clients, and your life will be easier. Your mind can, no matter what technique you're doing, if your mind is countering what you're trying to do and you're pushing away, I can't tell you how many clients, I'm even going to say former clients because I work with people that want to move forward. But when people tell me that I want a certain thing, I want a certain partnership, I want a certain job, I want a certain lifestyle, and then it actually, that we have attracted it in through person, space, time, and spirit. And then they will in turn say, you know what? I'm really not ready for it right now, and then push it away. Well, the techniques start losing their potency because you continue to push it away. So if you're the type of person that is, yep, let's ready and get going, then this system is absolutely for you. So the hour of birth, if you know it, is going to be about your legacies, your life purpose, your R&D or your brainstorming, if you will, and also your investments, how you spend the money from whatever means it comes in, inheritance, from winnings like gambling, even if you will, even though I don't really kind of prescribe to that. I'm not that big of a risk taker, but I know people do make a lot of money that way, but mostly from your career. Let's face it, most normal people are going to be getting their money from their own hard efforts. So how can we make your efforts a little bit easier? Use the TimeBlazr. All right. So then I realize, again, some of you may not know your hour of birth, but at least you know 75% from the year, month, day, and hour. We may weave back to some of these other things, but for right now, let's talk about the how this is connected. All right, so let's go back to the general. Sorry for jumping around there just a moment. But so we need to look at right under where you see that green bar, the metal, the fire rat, we have positive and negative influences. Now, these positive and negative influences are energies that are going to prevail over the entire day. And I've done them in standard business English so that you could, pretty much understand. But if you need a little bit more understanding because English may not be your first language, just go to this glossary of term book, just click on that and you can look at the term. And by the way, while I'm over here, you can actually look at certain things like training videos and things like that to help you along the way. So then let's look at the hours. Now, the first column I want you to look at is the gray column in between the day and a little bit more descriptions of the hours. As you can see that they start with the rat and then it finishes with the rat. So we have what's called an early and late rat hour. Those are the only two animals that are divided. The rest are divided into 2-hour time slot. And that really is what happens when we come to a 24-hour. Instead of having individual hours, they're actually named by the animals, the 12 animals of the zodiac, and they always repeat in this pattern. Chinese metaphysics is magnificent used as a forecasting or predictive tool because they are all based on repeatable patterns. When you have empirical data that you can go back to for centuries and know that you will have a certain outcome, why not tap into that universal knowledge? It's magnificent. All right, so, but I've also put the hours of the day there so you don't have to learn a new language. That's one of the things about the TimeBlazr we've done for you is we have taken out the guesswork. We're just having you go and choose the day based on what the activity that you're going to be doing, as well as a good day and time. All right, so then the next piece is the right next to the, for example, the rat hour, you've got a box where we've got some descriptions. Now, those descriptions are going to show up in 3 different ways. For example, the rat hour, early rat hour between midnight and 12:59, we have all pluses in blue. All right, that's saying that this is pure energy. And then let's drop down to the 9 to 10:59. Then we have a blue plus, and then we have some red with minuses. This is saying that we've got some mixed energy here. Start taking caution. Then we've got, let's look at the 1 to 2:59. We have a red with a minus, and that's pure negative energy. So this is where I'd say, well, you know what? Let's just avoid this hour altogether. Now, let's go back to what a balanced day is. I'm going to talk about each of these days as they come along so that you'll know over the course of time what all the different 12 types of animals are. And so, today we're going to go over just about 7 of them. Okay. So a balanced day is when you want an equal outcome to something, whether it be a partnership, a team effort, a legal court case, if you will. If you want more, or if you want to do less, do not choose a balanced day, because this is balancing the scales, if you will, for an equal outcome. If you want more, choose a different type of day. If you want less, choose a different type of day. So this is about balancing efforts and balancing funds, distributions of funds, and things like that. Okay. So now let's talk about personalization. So the first thing that we can see with this particular person, and it will be different for each individual. Now yours may have 4 stars on it, but it is now connected to this rat of the day and this person's astrology chart on how we are calculating the vibrancy for each and individual person. And then the icons will come over as well. Now, that's one area of personalization just by day alone. Now, the second piece of personalization is the hours. So the hours are going to show up in 4 different ways. One, let's just look at this calendar, from 7 to 10:59, we have no connection whatsoever at all. And it is saying that the animal, not the ingredients, not the descriptors, it's the animal that would either have a neutral or positive connection with the individual person. Then the next one will be 1 up to 3 stars, 3 stars being the most vibrant. Now on this day, it is showing you that we have that early rat hour and then the rabbit hour, which still is quite early in the morning, and then again that late rat hour on this particular day that is going to be connecting with this person. And then you'll say, well, how is that going to be helpful? Well, you could be using those vibrant hours for doing maybe some of your autoresponders, sending them out, initiating, because you are the one that we want to benefit benefit, right? So this is more about, think about me. How can I be more successful? Even though I asked you to do a community effort before, but let's just think about how we can now help you. Let's put the oxygen mask on you first, and let's get you built up in the energy so you can serve more and things like that. Okay, so now we have the rest of the hours that are a little bit unstable on this day. Every day is going to be different, right? Because it is a repeatable pattern of thousands and thousands of charts that just keep repeating. And then how are they connecting with you? So what we would like to see now is, for example, between that 11 and 12:59, we have that mixed energy. So what you need to start doing now during what we would call, sort of your classic business hours, understand what the energy is. Yes, it's still usable, but here is really why the TimeBlazr was created. It was created for you to do your milestone important activities. Even though it's a green day and it's a high number of stars, it's not during your working hours unless you're willing to launch something at those early hours. And maybe you have clients that are halfway around the world that for them it's working hours for them. And if you're willing to get up at that time, great. But that's not really what my proposition is. I'm saying wait for the most opportune time that is best suited for the activity that you're going to be doing. So we may have to wait for a different day to do a launch. Let's see if we can find something in here. And remember, we use the criteria for this particular week's presentation that we are going to be starting with a new client signing contracts. So let's keep that in mind when we're looking forward for this. And I'm not sure if we can even come up with it this week, but let's have a look. All right, now the next thing we're going to do is we're going to go right next to where we see October the 1st. We're going to just click that, and that's going to go through. And so let's start speeding it up just a little bit. So this is a fair, stable day. A stable day is about stability. So this would be a day where if I'm going to be working with a client, I want to work with them where there's a stable foundation. Everybody knows clearly the scope of work. And then we're going to be moving forward in a really stable way. Couldn't ask for anything better than that, right? So even though this one only has one star that is with it, there is still some great connections here on this day. Now, the biggest thing I want you to look at on this particular day is during the 9 to 10:59, we have a teal box and 3 stars. So this one is a energy that's just saying, just by color alone, that there's something that's going to happen very, very quickly during that hour. You're going to get a quick yes or no. So, but again, sometimes it's like, especially if you've been toiling over a decision, using this to get to a quick yes or no. And then you can move on either forward with this client or not. But again, this is kind of a late in the day. So it could be you may have that conversation a little bit later in the day, or maybe you have additional proposals you want to send out or correspondence. Send them out during that good time and see what kind of response that you get. All right, let's move on to October the 2nd. Now we have a favorable love this day. Love this day. What we have on this day is we have that teal box showing up during the positive influences. When it shows up here, this is saying that the quick action energy, things for a quick yes or no, is going to happen over the entire day. So do take note. For example, during the 11 to 12:59, we don't want to use it with the negative energy. So I'm going to give you a little insider tip here. So again, this day, look how many icons this person has. Again, yours may look different, and look how many stars it has. And it's an initiate day. We can start things, get things started. This is a great day to send out proposals, things like that. And we have in the negative influences an energy called big spender. Okay, this is a little little trick where you will spend a lot of money. So watch your spending, and then what I want you to start thinking about though is that you can really actually make some really good sales on this particular day. So a big spender means people will spend money. So I want you to be in integrity, have a great product or service program to sell, and then go ahead and use a really good time, only a really good time to get things started and get things rolling. Or are you looking to maybe write a book? Are you looking to write some web copy? Use this day during those good times to get things done quickly and get them started on a good vibration. You'll be very, very thankful that you listened to that advice. All right, now let's move forward to October 3rd. This is a destruction day. I'm truthfully not a big fan of destruction days because it takes things down to the ground. So this is great for demolition. If you're demoing a property, this would be a great use of that. If you are really concerned about taking down maybe a competitor, you could definitely do a campaign on this. So that's something that it could be used for as well. But it also can be used for in a positive way to really get rid of a negative bad habit. You could just destroy it, but you really have to make effort. It's not a one-day thing. If you really have a program in place, you may need some support on this. This would be an excellent day to do this. Again, if it is, especially if it is connected to you. All right, now on the 4th, we have a risk reward date. Now this is where it's going to drop back down to an unfavorable. Risk reward means that you're going to be pretty certain of an outcome. Then this is where you would use a risk reward day. Personally, on an unfavorable day, I would not be using a risk reward day because it's too unstable. I would just use one of the more favorable days. Plus it's a Sunday. I typically don't work on a Sunday anyway, so this is where you could see that happen. And you can see we've got the teal box indicated here during that tiger hour, so this is an opportunity to use it quite early in the morning, but if you want to, you could be using it that way. Then on the 5th, Monday, we have a unfavorable success day. Again, not the greatest energy to launch something. So what do you do on days like that? For me, these are, people tell me all the time, well, hey, I've got my calendar planned out for the entire year. Great. I'm glad you do. I hope you can be flexible, especially if you've got an important launch that you've got coming up, to modify that, especially if it's a little bit further out. If it's this week, well, you got to go with it because you got your advertising out, you've got everything in motion. So if that's the case, then what you need to do, it's ever more important for you to understand what some of these intricacies are. When you know that, then you're able to make a good and informed decision. All right, let's move on to our last day here, which is Tuesday, October the 6th. We go back to finishing up the week into an excellent receive day. And a receive day basically means that you are receiving something. You're receiving funds. You're receiving, this would be a good day to ask clients for testimonials, for example. It's really something that you are receiving. So great for, like I said, accounts receivable, invoicing, feedback. If you're asking for feedback even, this would be a good day. Do it during that good time to ask for a response that you want to get, from clients or people, something like that. That's how you use a good receive day. All right. The last thing I want to show you is when you go to the month view, there are a number of different filters that you could be using. For example, I already showed you about putting in all or none of the the icons. Again, it's none, or you can put them all back. You can select the ones that you want. You can also download the entire year if you have a full subscription to this, or the months that you have available to you, and then you can print them out in PDF form if you would rather have the print version of this. And then the other thing that you can do is you can add it to your Apple or your Google Calendar. Now, I do need to let you know that, the Google Calendar obviously doesn't look like this, so it's going to look a little bit different, but the information is going to come through, and the information that is going to come through is the type of days and the positive and negative influences for the moment. Now, there's a couple of other things that you can do. In your astrology chart, there's something that's called 5 structures, and that is located right under your astrology chart. This is the 5 structures right here, where you can see how much wealth you have, or power, etc. You can actually filter that in the TimeBlazr by just going to this particular area here. The other thing that you can do from your astrology, this is this little area that's called Activators. If you can look at it towards the bottom left-hand side of the screen, right under the Destiny cycle, that colored bar sort of in the midsection, just below the midline, there's an area that's called Activators. And you can find this either in your own chart, those animals, or you can find them in the TimeBlazr. You can truthfully also find them directionally in the Feng Shui of your space. So if you're looking for mentors or coach, you're looking to be a little bit more intelligent, like you're writing copy and things like that, you are looking for charisma. Now, this can be used from a personal perspective for date nights or getting yourself back there out there if you're looking for some sort of partnership, but it's also great to use for sales. Travel is self-explanatory, and wellness is where you can find your own personal days to go for wellness. But I'm going to do charisma today because we are talking about looking for good days to do sales. And for as long as you have the TimeBlazr, you can find these days and boom, just go right to the day and there it is for you. So it really has a lot of potential for you to get the things done that you want to get done on an annual basis, on a quarterly, monthly, weekly, and even daily basis. So it really is the system that I have found that can absolutely empower you the most. All right, I did talk to you about, if you are interested in getting a 30-day free trial, just go to www.free30timetrial.com. At this time of the recording, we are not requiring a credit card. So this is the time that you're going to want to go ahead and jump in on that. The next thing I want to let you know is that I have another series that I have been doing for a few months, and mainly because of the pandemic and everything that's happening. I really believe that your space is more important than ever. Remember, what I do is a holistic system: person, space, time, universe, astrology, Feng Shui, TimeBlazr, and Universal Gateway. So I'm trying to help you make the best use of your time and space through these 2 free series that I'm doing right now on YouTube. So the next one is going to be starting right after the Ox month starts, but you still have time to tap into a week or so of the September. So just go ahead and go to YouTube to find out about that. Now, the next thing I want to let you know is, as you know, that I really take a lot of effort to understand the short-term Feng Shui. We look at long-term Feng Shui when you're buying a place. Once you've already lived in it for a while, that energy really starts taking a momentum. But how you can make quick decisions, quick turnarounds, get some cash flow coming into your business, it really is through the annual and monthly energies. So I have an event that is coming up in January that is going to be about the Metal Ox, where we're going to be talking about person, space, time, and universe. It's going to be completely live streamed, and it's January 16th and 17th, 11 a.m. to 5 p.m. Pacific, and it's going to be at bit.ly/Metal Ox. We have an extra early bird special going on now, so as we move closer to that event, obviously those tickets are going to be going up, so you want to grab your tickets now while the price is ridiculously reasonable. So have an amazing week. Thank you so much for spending time with me today. I know it is precious, and I hope you got a lot of value from the work that I did for you today, and I look forward to seeing you next week. So have an amazing week, and we'll see you next week at TimeBlazr Tuesday. Be well, everyone. Be safe, and be kind to each other.